This call is
1
being
6
recorded.
1982.
And what time?
8:32 p.m.
8:32 p.m. And where?
It's Fort Benning, Georgia. But sometimes that doesn't come up, and I just go by Columbus, Georgia. So whichever, I guess.
Columbus, Georgia. Okay. Oh, Fort Benning?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And you got there we go, Fort Benning, Georgia. So, okay, cool. And I saw your notes too. So I'll definitely speak on that. I'm glad you got the progress chart. I see your moon is in Gemini and your sun is in Capricorn. You're born with the sun on the south node, so this is going to be really interesting because your progressed sun is. What was that?
Sorry. Hold on. I'm still trying to. I'm sorry. Are you still there? I was still trying to do the video, like connect somehow to the video. Okay.
Oh, I'm still here. I can hear you. Please don't hesitate to interrupt. Like if there's anything you want to ask or mention, feel free. That's totally fine.
Okay. All right. We'll just go ahead this way, I guess.
All right, no problem. I actually am amazed you have this sun and moon because my sun and moon is in the opposite signs or the other way around. So
Yeah. I knew that. I hope I'm listening to you.
right. No, I really appreciate that. This is a vibration of true integrity. And we see your progressed moon just entered Sagittarius, so at 0 degrees. So you're going through a progressed lunar opposition, and you're on the verge of, in 3 years, progressing into Pisces. Remarkable. This is actually really, really awesome because you're inheriting certain alien constructs again, if not, yeah, again, since maybe for the second time around, in that the moon progressing over Uranus and Neptune will temporarily give you vessel status to where you'll be holding, and you did this before in Libra and Scorpio, and so you're touring through to kind of gain more downloads, soul downloads, we can say, which you're going to have a lot to do to enhance your clairvoyant channels. So with the Gemini moon, you actually have the soul of an angel. And I'm going to share an article for you about that, referencing this angel soul. But other than that, relative to this progressed chart report or reading, let's see. Also, I really do appreciate you mentioning your bout with addiction because
Yeah.
on one level, that's a huge part of your soul destiny, where in the sixth house of behavioral development and in the 12th house of like addiction or transcendence and spirituality, you're in Cancer, you're reflecting collectively these themes, like you're going through it individually, but everything that you're coming out of is what you're preparing to lead and guide other people through. It's a part of your karma socially with the Saturn square. And like by you going through these things and helping to recognize it in others, indirectly or directly, you provide this sort of natural healing. But I just wanted to let you know that this was a part of your soul progression because for you to really say what you said as you're coming out of the moon in Scorpio, that you're getting ready to end that cycle. And you thinking of going back to religious beliefs is the moon in Sagittarius of philosophy. So you're coming into ascending your perspective and making sense of like the higher meaning of what's been happening. So it's a good sign that like you're directly tuned in to how you're progressing and what's happening. But because of all this Neptunian, Uranian, energy around it, especially with Neptune, like it could kind of trigger a need to escape or a need to just really express more unconventionally. And traditionally, especially as a Capricorn, that may not necessarily seem um, like that it will make sense, hence the confusion, but it's actually a good sign. It's I see it more of ascension symptoms than anything, and you finally leveling out now that you've completed monthly cycles, namely the third quarter square, that moon in Scorpio square, the sun in Aquarius. That was very intense and also ironic because I just spoke to the woman who I did the reading with first, had the inverse where her progressed sun is in Scorpio and the progressed moon is in Aquarius. So it's interesting to see that double.
Okay.
But other than that, this is still very revealing because what I want to do is go back to the full moon. It looks like you had the full moon in Leo. And what's going to happen is you're getting ready for a new moon in Pisces. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in time to see where you had the full moon. The full moon is completion where you harvest. So, you're in the harvest cycle. Congratulations. And a harvest cycle of such really illustrates where you're coming into completion and you're harvesting relative to the new moon in Capricorn cycle you started after birth. You're technically harvesting the new cycle of integrity because after you were born, you had no, wait, hold on. Interesting. Let me make sure I'm seeing this right. No, you had the full moon in Cancer right after you were born, and it looks like that led into the new moon in Aquarius. So you have the new cycle of knowledge in Aquarius, and then you completed that cycle of knowledge 2014 where you had the full moon in Leo. So you were feeling into the courage and passion of your identity to progress into how much more knowledgeably as an aqua DC you share the knowledge of yourself to others or you're aware of other people's knowledge. So the complete version of Aquarius is feeling into the heart of the mind and completing the passion and the intellect. So you're feeling the courage needed to really network and express knowledgeably to others and how much more boldly you sustain that with that. And why that's important is you actually just completed the harvest cycle from moon in Leo, moon in Virgo, moon in Libra, and moon in Scorpio. And why that's even more significant is that harvest cycle is now coming into the balsamic phase. You're getting ready to close out the Aquarius cycle and start a brand new cycle of divinity through Pisces. So I'm going to go even further back in time. If we go back maybe 17 years, so let's say 1998.
Okay.
Okay, so great. So looks like 2000, the year 2000 is where you started yep, oh my God, on the dot. February 22nd, 2000, your sun and moon was 4 degrees progressed in Aquarius on your Venus, on your Mercury. That was when you officially, and so let's talk about that a bit because being born as a Leo rising, you're the main character, you're the queen, and as a queen, you are the true director goddess, the representation of true integrity. So you hold space for the collective to direct behavioral therapy and being able to point out the integrity of people's behaviors. Normally, sixth house conscious people are more focused on their lifestyle and approach, which is why with the South nodal function, it's more significant if you're dealing with addiction issues, because this is you really, especially post Kundalini experience, uh, purging collectively. Your purging of the collective is physically taking place in this behavior that you've been transforming with Pluto. The addiction issues is actually Pluto going through the six that you've purged and are awakening out of. So it's just going through that. It may feel the opposite, where it doesn't feel like you're really recovering like that or going through, but it's just all going to really switch now that the moon is coming through. And so the progression of Capricorn Follow, first of all, this is at the God level. You have a goddess level spirit. Your moon is in an individual level, angel soul, and then you have a social personality. So the God conscious progressions start at Sagittarius, and once we progress into Cap, the you were born graduated because you're going through your ascended master's initiation. So you didn't really you didn't progress into Capricorn where you had to graduate. You were born the director, co-captain of the Destiny Group, which is so boss. It's so gangster, by the way. Your Saturn is exalted in Libra with Pluto, so you have a lot of extreme social karma. And this is where now the progression out of Capricorn is the principle of integrity, where you are coming into omnipotence to do whatever it is you focus on. And that progresses into the mind of God Aquarius, where omnipotence turns into omniscience. And now you're coming into the knowledge of applying this focus, where the principle of Saturn focuses to a single point, and the test of the progression of Cap is integrity. And so now you're coming into humanitarian and community with the progression into Aquarius. And this is you becoming a celestial. This is you stepping into the progression of knowledge because this is in your seventh house. You are now applying the mastery of the integrity of your lifestyle and behavior into now the extraordinary knowledge of your partnerships. And that, of course, is bearing into the difficulties of the incredible nature of your lifestyle. So this progression into Aquarius is now, because you're a Leo rising, first of all, as a Capricorn sun, manifesting the value of your power. The collective power of Capricorn has the network, but as a Leo rising, you're manifesting this value towards other people in relationships, the knowledge of other people as the performer, as the solar queen that provides light to that audience. Okay.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh my God.
Even as of just last night. But yeah, okay. That's crazy. Go ahead.
And please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions whatsoever, anything you want to mention whatsoever. That is totally fine.
Okay. I don't know. There's so much going through my mind. I've been through like just since you said 2014 and then starting in 2015. Yeah, I guess because I met what I thought was a twin flame, but I don't know. I had I guess what people call
The false
kundalini or
awakening.
Or severe, but like very, very traumatic, very, very, very traumatic. And I was very mentally ill for a couple of years. I had to have my ex-husband come take care of me. I have 4 kids. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like getting through all of that and just coming out the other side. But that's kind of like just a little background of a little bit more of what's going on. So.
Yep.
I don't know.
What year did you have that awakening experience? 2020?
No, it was in 2017. 2016 things started going crazy, and then 2017 it was a full on. I was out there, like
I have chills because 2017 was when Jupiter went through Libra. It went over your Saturn and Pluto, and that would suggest mental illnesses or challenges square your Cap with Pluto because you're going through the Pluto square. So it's just a lot of intensity that's built since they're coming into 2020. Thank you so much for sharing that because that taught me how to see that axis.
Yeah. So I've kind of slowly but surely healed myself, but there's still a lot of trauma I'm overcoming because of all of that. So, but I'm very, I feel everything. I feel everything so much, and it's so overwhelming. Um, yeah, and I've had to let go of literally everything in my life, also. So,
Oh, that's deep.
yeah.
So, I mean, and that really speaks more to the nature of initiation that you've gone through. And having to clear through that early on too. By the way, it's interesting because seeing that you have the Aqua Rising, Saturn and Jupiter have gone through your seventh, and normally when that happens, people have marriages, divorces, business partnerships, and um, that happened for you 2021. How would you say that reflected the status of your relationships? Because your rising is now Virgo, and so your new seventh house is Pisces, and the experience of that is going to be felt coming into the next 2 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, my parents got a divorce last year after 35 years, that was hard. I put myself through rehab for a year, just trying to get better.
Okay.
And then, my ex-husband, I went through a lot of forgiveness, um, processing with him, and then who I thought was my twin flame, because it triggered my awakening. I'm suddenly, as of like the last 2 months, kind of coming back down into reality more, like grounding more, and I'm really thinking that that's not the case. Like, I could have been very wrong, like, I don't know. So I don't know if that answers any of your questions.
No, that's interesting. And that happened. Your parents got divorced last year.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Mainly what that's doing is it's upgrading the standards of all relationships. So it's tightening your circle in a certain sense. But it's also manifesting more value through your relationships and money through your partnerships and like
Okay.
solidifying. So the
But
progress. Oh, my bad. What was that?
I know. I said okay. I was agreed. I just said okay.
Oh, yeah, basically the progression through Aquarius now is going to give you more direct awareness of that seventh house, of that actual place with other people, and now have you operate there so much more, interestingly. So,
Okay.
yeah, that being said, we know that 2000 was the year you started that cycle, and we know that 2014 was the year that you completed that cycle with the moon in Leo. And so you harvested that from 2014 to 2021. 2021 was when you had that moon in Scorpio transit from 2020, the purity to now, relative to the full moon, complete the harvest cycle and intensify the wisdom of your understanding of how much knowledge you connect with through at other people. And the moon in Sagittarius is going to synthesize that knowledge now, and it's going to give you visual understanding and a higher perspective of this entire Aquarius transit you've gone through. It looks like, because the progressed moon takes 30 months to move through a zodiac sign, it takes a month to move a degree. In another year and in another 2 years, 24 months and 6 months, 2 years and 6 months, it's going to be in Capricorn. In 2 years,
Okay.
right? And then your sun will be progressed 29 degrees Aquarius. So the Sag transit is going to unveil the higher perspective. This is now the ascended knowledge transit, and you're going to come into a great creative expression and understanding of how much more boldly to share yourself. Now, your rising sign is 24 degrees Virgo, and this is mastering your personality. The golden personality as a solar queen you had, that's bold and courageous, has now mastered more analytical quality here. And all of this sounds like really cool, but this is just to build more the profile of how we can make sense now of having this Virgo rising. Now with Neptune in the seventh, there may be more anxiety or intuitive connection with other people, and this is all preparing you for the Pisces progression where you step into divinity and you start to transform your dealings with others, but now convert this knowledge, becoming truly the ascended master, releasing elements of your ego and transcending the function with which you apply this knowledge in your dealings with other people, which is on a whole nother level. So the most pressing thing here is in another 3 months, your moon will start to toward a progressed Uranus, and this is going to have you be more receptive to just supernaturally unconventional meaning, clear cognizant wisdom that you're already feeling now. It's relevant that this just entered and we're talking. As this opposes more your moon, you're going to complete more the true feelings that will now help you understand the higher meaning of why you feel them. Mars is closer progressed in Libra to Saturn, anchoring more of the karmic power behind your actions, but also frustrating with that Pluto square how intensely you're breaking through old ways of thinking, that you're holding space for the collective to unlock through destiny. And Venus is out of its retrograde, coming back through Capricorn. Mercury is out of its retrograde, progressing through Aquarius, strengthening your heart and mind. But mainly, the most important thing I kind of want to illustrate is, yeah, as the moon continues through Sagittarius, this is going to close out the Aquarius chapter in preparation for a brand new moon cycle in Pisces, which now we're going to see occur, it looks like, at 2030, specifically like January 2030, December of 2029. That's going to be the new moon in Pisces cycle, and you're going to step into a brand new cycle. So as we come through the balsamic phase, this is going to really just now in moon and Sag, it's going to show you all the magical people and ascended perspective that belong with you and connect you more into your inner children, your connection with your children, because it's going through the most intuitive facet of your chart. It's going to unlock so much soul ascension in how you tie in a clairvoyant understanding of these visions. But with the progressed aqua sun, you know what you're seeing in other people with other people. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very fun transit. Moon progressed moon Sag is so much more light and fun than the intensity of progressed moon Scorpio. So I think you'll get very philosophical. Oh yeah.
I almost didn't survive that. It was horrible. Yeah, no, it's much better.
And yeah, I think you will experiment with religious beliefs and kind of come back into your inner child. So other than that, I hate to cut this call short, but I'm gonna send you this recording. Thank you so much for calling in, and you have a blessed
Yeah.
week.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you too. Have a good day.
All right. Peace out.